This is the new MIG225 from LOTOS. Let's get this thing unboxed. I'll show you what all comes with it, and then we'll talk about the welder and what it can do. Check this out. All right, so the first thing we have is the accessories box. Or not necessarily accessories, you kind of need those. Got your instruction manual. This welder can do 110 volt and 220 volt. That's what you need this adapter for, is to go from the 220 down to the 110. MIG line for doing your flux core MIG or your gas supported MIG welding next to your MIG gun. CO2 cable for when you're doing gas supported welding. Alligator clamps for when you're doing traditional stick welding. And of course you have your ground cable to get your electricity to your workpiece. A couple of little tips for your MIG gun. That's what comes in the accessory box. Now, let's look at the welder. Here's the unit itself. In this door here is where you put your wire spools for your wire welding. Of course, you put it here and feed it through here, and the machine will feed it to the tips of whatever gun you're using for that. On the back is the gas port, power switch, and power cable. On the front here, you have all your different spaces for your settings. You have your positive and your negative. Jumper for when you're MIG welding, you just pop it in your positive because your MIG torch is going to be attached here. This is a 6-in-1 unit. It can do gas MIG welding, gasless MIG flux core welding, aluminum spool welding, lift TIG, spot, and your stick welding, all in one unit. To get it set up, you select the process you're going to use in this window here. Here's your selection for your different options. That's MMIG, SMIG, spool gun, MMA or stick welding, and TIG. If you're on one of the MIG settings, you get to select the diameter of the wire that you're using. If you have all that set correctly, you don't have to worry about your voltage. It automatically will adjust to that. There is some presets you can set on here to make it easy to recall and get back to settings if you're doing the same kind of work over and over. Here's your voltage or amperage, and then this is your speed or current knob to be able to adjust that. You get to tell it what kind of material you're using, and it just presets everything. Makes it nice and easy to get started, especially for an amateur like myself. All right, now I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna do a little stick welding. I've never welded before, so this should be fun. I said I'm gonna try this out and weld for the first time. Now, I'm not an idiot. I know these things can be dangerous, so I do have some help. My buddy David's helping me out. He's gonna explain to me what we're doing. He's got me doing, what is this? This is a welding test.
Yeah, it's just to test you out and see what you're gonna do is you're gonna tack the end and run a tack in the middle, and then you can either push or pull. What I mean by push is you're gonna go across and lay it in.
So you're going to go away from what you've done?
Away from your tack and go away.
There we go. What do you think so far?
Well,
looks like trash.
Your first time welding, not too bad. Not too bad, because guess what?
Yeah.
That's stuck together. See how that chips off?
Yeah.
That's what the weld looks like underneath. That's why we call it stacking dimes.
Yeah.
See how it looks like a dime on top of another
some
dime?
more off.
Those are really good welds.
Thank you. For my first welding attempt, I think it did pretty good. Started out ugly, but learning anything new, that's usually what happens. I got some good beads on there. Toward the end, I was able to weld 2 pieces of rebar together and then weld a piece of flat iron on it. The machine performed well, how I hoped it would, and I look forward to getting to use it on some of my future projects.